Come on a journey with me. I want to show you how I converted this van into a fully finished motorhome. Hi, I'm George and I want to show you my van conversion. It was a brand new van. The van has a full-size shower, toilet, a hot water system, air condition, microwave, fridge, freezer, 270-litre water tanks with 2 single beds. And at the end of the video, I'll give you a rundown on the cost of the conversion, how long it took, and I'll also tell you what you need to take it to the Department of Transport and get it certificated so that it can be registered as a motorhomes for legal and insurance reasons. So watch the video and give me your comments. Tell me what you think. That was the van sitting on a parking lot, waiting to be picked up. Lovely vehicle. Fiat Ducato 2013 long wheelbase. This is the inside of the van, as you can see, just a plain van. A blank canvas, ready to start. The first job I done was bought 2 70-litre water tanks, one for fresh water and one for grey water. Here you can see I'm making some brackets to put under the tank and bolt it to the body. This is the tank ready to go underneath the van. This is the tank now bolted, or the 2 tanks now bolted underneath the van. As you can see, I've connected the pipe work. That is the grey water going in and fresh water going in. Grey water going in and out, fresh water going in. This is my detailed plumbing system. Here you can see where we're painting the ply on the inside. I built a complete mock-up so that I could work out exactly where everything went. I could move it around, cut it, make it shorter, make it bigger, so I could get the fitting right. See, this is working with a framework on the inside. It was all temporary, just to give me the right details of where to fix, where to screw to, where to bolt to, so that everything would go according to plan. Because your tolerances are very fine. You can see again, I'm working where to screw, where to bolt, best heights, best widths. All the details. Next job was to put a vent light in the roof and the air conditioning. So that's cutting the vent light out for the roof. That was the air conditioning unit going in. As you see, it fits between 2 braces perfectly, which makes it great to bolt and fix to. Dead centre of the van, so the air is distributed equally. That's the air conditioning going on the roof, and you can also see the awning there, which is simply bolted on. That's the air conditioning unit ready to go on the roof. I had to get a hand to get that lifted on. Spags give me a hand because of the weight. That's the air conditioning on the roof. Then fitted the awning to the roof, which was fairly easy because the Fiat actually leave fixing brackets on the roof, which is the passenger and the driver's side, so whether it's the left-hand driver or right-hand driver, very easy to fix, but nobody tells you that. You go and ask the motorhome dealer, oh, it's a big job, but it's not. And how's work? There can you see, winding the awning out to make sure everything's working okay. It was great. The next job I done, which was a big job, which is to cut the windows out. I made windows right down the side because it lets plenty of light into the van, makes the van seem bigger. But when you cut that out, you've only got sort of 6 inches of metal remaining. The whole side of the van's wobbling. And as you can see, it goes between the braces, top and bottom of the van. So it's quite crucial to get that right. It's crucial to get everything right. But yeah. Then put timber around that. You have to shape the window because the van is not a flat surface, it's slightly curved. So you shape the timber to the curve of the van and then silicone that on. You can see that it's been held in place to give you a flat surface to put the windows on. We've got a nice straight surface going on, and then there's another piece of ply bolted on top. So that would be the finished ply. Again, I covered that with leather actually to give it a good finish, and there's insulation in between every time you finish a project. You'd insulate it. Those are the windows from the outside. Now you can see on the van, those 3 windows in, and the awning on top, that little part. There's a happy man looking out the window. Oh, good job done. That was the reversing camera I put in at that stage, and I cut it into the visor. I wasn't really sure where to put it, and it worked well, cutting into the visor. So just push it up out of the way, I'll pull it out. You can see I raised the floor slightly, because if you look at the floor, you can see where the bodywork, the struts they've got, which are lifted up. So by lifting the floor up, we could go right back to the metalwork, which made it easier. That's the flooring round by the driver's cabin, which is lifted up because you've got the battery, and the petrol tank is right underneath there. And you've got to be very careful when you screw it down, you don't put a screw into the bottom of the petrol tank, which I nearly did. My garage was the workshop, and everything was done in the garage, which worked out perfect for me. Really good workshop. There's the fridge there, the water heater, cassette toilet, all the bits and pieces in the garage waiting to go. This gives you a good idea of actually going on. You can see there the floor's down, the windows are in, the ceiling or the roof is partially done. That is the hot water system going in there, and that is the bed and with cupboards below. The bed was a slide out system. This is me cutting out the holes for the vents on the fridge. Everything is so close to each other, you've got no tolerances at all. You've got to be really careful and get it right. That's why I done all the rough layout. You can see that it gives you an idea. There's the 2 cutouts for the fridge, and that's the cutout for the gas locker, and the one beside it is a cutout for the hot water system. You've got very little tolerances between any of them actually. That was a locker I got made up from a friend of mine, Keith, who's a maintenance engineer. So he had plenty of time at work. I'll give him the dimensions for that, and he made it up for me. So it's a completely sealed gas locker. So when it's installed, nothing can blow back into the van. There's no chance of gas smells or leakage, and it's quite important to get that gas locker right. Well, you can see there how tight the tolerances are. That's the gas locker next to the wheel hub. Above that is the vent for the fridge, so the fridge fits on top of that. You've got the water pump, accumulator, and the other side you've got the hot water system, all within a very short space, so you can't get it wrong. That is the hot water system, as you can see. Again, that was raised to get over the shape of the van, the metalwork, and again you've got to get that pretty close. And that hot water system works off gas or electric, so it covers both. You can see there the metal struts for the bed that pulled out also. That gives you a good idea of the tolerances you're working on. Gas locker, heater, it's, yeah. But it all works well. You can see there's the pump there. Those are panels I'm starting to put in. That's where the fridge goes. That long sliver there is an upright cupboard, it's a hanging cupboard. Just wanted one cupboard for hanging things up. Most of the cupboards for underneath, but just one long hanging cupboard. Gives you an idea of the tolerances working around. And the other half of that wheel hub is in the shower. This is some of the electrical system going in. There's a 150 amp hour battery, that's a battery charger, and there's fuses and the red arc control system, which for the battery actually. So that's where the battery goes in with the charger, another control gear there for the electrics. into beginning to put the panels in. As you can see, there's a lot of cutting and carving to get the shape of the panels in. It all takes time and patience because you can't mess it up. You do one wrong, especially the timber's not a problem, but you can't mess it up with the van because it's all the metal. You've got to get, This was beginning to start on the shower. The shower was all fiberglass, so I fiberglassed the panels in the garage because it's a real messy job, fiberglassing and sanding. So I done all the panels in the garage, put them in situ and just put a quadrant in the corners and it was easier to work that way. You got complete panels, as I say, panels being made up for the shower. All to be the shower and toilet area. You can see that's the other half of the wheel arch, which is where the shower's. And again, if you've got no space, and that's the cut out for the toilet and a window going in the toilet. Put in some ply over there. Then I would take the ply off, fiberglass it, put it back in, and do the internal corners. So that's the toilet area. Little hand basin I made up because you couldn't buy one. I tiled the toilet and the bathroom floor, fiberglassed over the top of it, then fiberglassed the floor, the walls, and then this was a friend of mine who's an electrician, Brad. He'd done the 240 volts setup for me, and I'd done the 12 volt. That was the electric system going in. That's just a control panel which gives me the voltage in the battery. The aerial for the television goes on top. And lighting system. Oh, that was testing the fridge in. Yes, that goes in there nicely. Works well. This is starting on the other side of the van. There again, I'm making up for the bed because the bed slides out to make the van much wider during the day. So this was the beginning system up in the garage. That's the welding gear. They were the panels going in for outside the shower. Everything I bought big sheets, 1200 by 24, then cut everything to size and glued the edges on and run around with a router to keep them nice and clean. So that is the actual bed made up so that it will slide out and back. I made the bed quite tall, so there's lots of room underneath, double storage underneath. Because storage is very important. This is where I started to make up the cupboards. As I say, I just bought big sheets, 2/4 by 1200, and cut everything. I'd have saved a lot of time if I'd have bought the cupboards, but I had the time, so I made everything. That's the hob and sink draining board. And that stuff lifted into the hot and cold water for the sink, the electric and gas for the hob. So that's where they're going to fit eventually. This is now the bed made up in position, which will slide out. See there, the cupboards there I've worked out. That was the washing machine I put in there. But I've never really used it, so I got rid of it. And the space is used for timber storage, actually. I can get 20 kilos of firewood in there. Well, it's much better. Beginning for the cupboards, which are above both sides. Again, I made them all up and then bolted them in situ. So they're the cupboards. These are the top cupboards, which went either side. You can see them ready to be bolted in the van. And that's the cupboards in the van. That one you can see there was a little box, little situation I made up for a vent, so that the light above the hob has got an extractor fan in which blows straight out. These are the bottom cupboards going in. You see that I made them all up, and yep, they're slowly going into the van. Timber I bought to use to go around where the TV is and that area to give it a little bit of a different feel. And that's it there, the TV fits inside that hole. Again, more vents cut out. You have to have them vents there to let air, so you've got good air into the cabin. But when you've got gas, you must have plenty of air, ventilation. So put two in the door. That's the air conditioning unit inside, bolted in situ. That's the window. I very rarely have it open because it gets too hot. But there's a window there in the roof if need be. Here you can see when the bottom unit was in, that was the washing machine that would pull out. But as I say, I never really used it, so I sold it. And that's used for a timber locker, which is used every time we go away. This is starting to be the polished wood for the benches being glued together, and the top section for the hob and the sink. The lift off section which gives you much more working space. That's it, finished and polished. That's all sanded up and finished to go in the van. Sink in with connections connected up. And you can see the windows there. Now around the windows I've covered with leather. I bought rolls of leather and glued that on both sides and at the back of the van. I thought it would be quite a hard wearing good system to use, and it works well. Starting to do all the pretty stuff now. As you can see, I put LED lights top and bottom of the van. I haven't done the walls that side. You can see the windows are in, the fridge, microwaves in, televisions in. So I'm starting on the pretty stuff now to finish it off. Cupboards below, bed that pulls out, windows are in, television's in, that's that side. Just the cupboards. Starting to finish off with all the pretty stuff now. As you can see, that's where the washing machine goes and all the other bits and pieces in the inside there. The only thing I haven't done by looking up, I haven't done the back doors yet. So that's it, looking from the driver's seat or looking out the back. Oh, and the most important thing, I haven't put doors on the back and the side, which made an amazing difference. That's the bottom cupboards, as you can know now, without gas, the hot water system, the lockout, the batteries. That's the cassette toilet that pulls out. And that's the kitchen area now, that's all in. Kitchen area, loads of storage, everything goes away. It's the other side bed made up. One side bed made up. So that's with the two beds made up, you've still got loads and loads of room there. That's the side with the lower bed. All finished now. There I covered the walls with the same materials. I got the bed or the seats covered. I got an upholsterer to do that for me. I asked her what's the best possible foam I could use, and I got a real good quality material, and she covered it for me, and what I had left I covered, glued on the walls. It's the van now, looking more like a motorhome. Yeah, a lot of work, but a lovely van. So that gives you a snapshot of me actually building the van, and I hope it helped to show you that how it actually comes together with the whole system, you know, with a shower, toilet, a gas system, everything you need to live a good, comfortable life in a motorhome. Now, when you finish it, you have to take it to the Department of Transport, who will inspect it and will give you a certificate to say that it's passed. Now, when I built it, I had to get a gas fitter. You cannot gas fitter an electrician to certificate it. The gas fitter has to connect from all the gas points and then test it and give you a gas certificate. And I'll show you the gas certificate. So the gas certificate shows you all where the points are, all how it's connected, and the gas fitter's contact and details. Now, you have to get the same thing with an electrician. Although a friend of mine, Brad, run all the electric wires, he couldn't connect them. They had to be connected because Brad's now retired, so he's not certificated. It has to be, all the points have to be connected by electrician, tested and run, and make sure that everything's working to the standard. And again, that has to go to the Department of Transport before they'll give you a certificate to say the van is actually a motorhome. And is that certificate. So that passes it on all those details. And as I say, when you take it to the Department of Transport, they go all over it to make sure that it has been done in accordance to the rules and regulations of the government. And then you've got to take it to a motorhome dealer, a certified motorhome dealer, and he will go over it and give you an estimate so that you can give to an insurance company so that they will insure it. And as I said, the van cost me 49,500, say 50,000, and I spent 20,000 on fitting it out. So it was 70,000, and I had it estimated for 110,000. But one of the salesmen there actually said to me, you know, you can get more than that if you want to sell it. They're very cautious when they give you an estimate. So that's the situation. I've had it now 13 years and I could still get what I paid for it at the 70,000. I could get more than that straight away. So to me, it's been a good investment, and I'll never get rid of it. Why would I want to get rid of this? Leave a comment and tell me what you think.